Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Courtside Sports Center, Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, for the 11th annual prestigious Super Indy Tournament. Joe Dabrowski ringside with Justin Plummer to bring you the destiny of so many young men's dreams as they fight to join an elite class.
The contest is a first-round matchup in the Super Indy 11 tournament. Introducing first, he weighs in at 185 pounds. From the Broken Mirror, Gory!
And Joe, this is what it's all about right here tonight. 8 men are going to enter throughout the night, but in the end, only one will be crowned the IWC Super Indy Champion.
We start things off with one of the most vengeful athletes in this tournament, a former Super Indy champion and multiple time tournament participant. He is Gory, and he is incensed, he is enraged, and he has Michael Facade in his crosshairs and the Super Indy Championship in general. A man who won the title at Super Indy 6 in a non-title and a non-tournament matchup had to surrender it that night.
He weighs in at 221 pounds. Wrestling out of Venice Beach, California. He is the one-man militia, Matthew Johnson.
Another former Super Indy champion, one-man militia, won the Super Indy Championship shortly before being signed to WWE's developmental territory in Florida. Justice's reign was short-lived thanks to a defeat at the hands of Super Hentai, but now that Matt is back on the scene full-time and amassing an impressive win-loss record for himself, well, ladies and gentlemen, Matt could, by the end of the night, find himself right back on top where he left us some time ago.
And Joe, when Matthew Justice made his return to the IWC, he made it clear that the reason he was coming back, because when he was down in Florida, he just didn't have the heart or the drive that he thought he would have. He craved that Super Indy title, and tonight is the night. It all boils down to this tournament. Matthew Justice, Jason Gory, kicking things off in the first round.
That's right, Matthew Justice has gone on record as saying that he's not a corporate champion. He's not big business as far as a suit and tie and a dress code and a certain way of life goes. Matt Justice is anti-establishment, counterculture when it gets to the grain.
And we're not wasting any time.
And it's Justice to the outside early on Gory, the former Jason Gory. I believe that Gory actually holds a victory over Matthew Justice in these past several months here in IWC. Justice looking for retribution there as well.
It was combat in Deerfield just a few months ago. Gory did get the victory over Matt Justice. Well, can he do it again here tonight?
Justice just sprung in with Air Justice, that springboard clothesline. That's won a lot of matches for Justice. He tries to break it out early, but Gory out of the way. An interesting strategy to try to end this thing early, Justin. Endurance is key as the night goes on.
Gory trying to outsmart, outmaneuver Matt Justice, not quite working. And look at the big man fly. We've seen it multiple times already early on.
We got a cover here, lateral press for two. The first near fall of the evening. And we will be seeing a field of 8 contrast to recent years here in IWC. Some last-minute shake-ups as far as our seeding and our participants have caused the young Lions of IWC to rise. And we are looking at the potential of one of 7 men to capture the championship, or for the first time ever, someone goes coast to coast and retains.
And yeah, we might have had a little bit of a shake-up at the beginning, but the field is just as strong as ever. And the revised bracket is seeing every match is a one-on-one match, man-to-man, no hiding behind anything. We're going to have a true champion by the end of the night.
We have a paddle counter to any matchup here tonight. Could main event any IWC event on its own. And certainly we see Gory, the animalistic, just climbing on top of the back of Matthew Justice. The remorseless, the soulless Gory has just a reckless intent every time he steps into the ring. A man who's harbored so much evil, so much negativity towards his former tag team partners, towards this organization, feels he's been overlooked. He can erase that all in one night. And Justice attempts a suplex, but it's Gory back to the spinning jawbreaker. Pound for pound, the quickest man, but Gory's had some, well, shaky history. It's Super Indy's gone by, but check out Gory with a crossbody. Matt Justice, Justin is in trouble.
That's right, Joe. Gory with a big upper hand, but this new sadistic Gory, he's possessed right now with attacking these fans.
And a blatant choke.
And I don't see why you don't go for the cover there.
Gory is the most experienced Super Indy competitor in tournaments past out of anybody in the field this year, but the advantageousness there may stop. It was a Super Indy 4 when Gory was obliterated by Loki, who's better known in later years as Caval. It was Super Indy 7 that Gory was defeated in the first round by Jerry Lynn. Super Indy 8, it was Joey Ryan, who's making a lot of headlines across the industry. And in Super Indy 10, it was the future of the business, Adam Cole. Gory has never gotten out of the first round of a Super Indy tournament in his career. And Gory hoping to erase that curse here tonight.
Maybe this new attitude, this new outlook on everything, Joe, is what he needs to get over the top. It certainly looks like he's on the right path so far.
What absolutely is, he has channeled that inner aggression, that anger, that contempt, that frustration. Cover 2 and no, and rather than direct that anger towards the company or towards his home life or towards his friends, it's all going straight into that ring. Bell to bell. It's really become a lifestyle overall. And Gory has really risen to success in the past several months. We saw him qualify for this tournament by defeating Aiden Vale a number of months ago. And really across the board, coming out of IWC, he's never been better.
No, and you talk about this new focus, this new hatred. I mean, when's the last time you saw in the back getting ready for this? He's hiding out, I don't know, dark corners, basements, boiler rooms. I mean, the man is truly sadistic, but he's converting that to what he does in the ring.
You know, Gory cornered me earlier today, and we were talking about this tournament. He apparently had some messages he wanted to get across. I asked him, what about his mindset in the ring? And he tells me that he gets himself into almost a trance-like state. It's like he blacks out in the ring, and he can't even remember the pain that he inflicts on his opponents. And the only thing, and this is probably a great example of that, the only thing I could think of, Justin, as Gory was telling me about blacking out and trancing, I mean, it reminds me of an assassin, like the guy that shot Bobby Kennedy. That's where this guy's mind is at right now.
That's right, John. Here, he almost did it, first time ever out of the first round, and that's exactly right. And you got to think that although he's got something to prove by getting out of the first round of a Super Indy tournament, someone that's not very good friends with him anymore, Michael Facade, is the man holding that title. That's going to be extra motivation, an extra push for Gory to want to move on and end the reign of his now arch nemesis, Michael Facade.
Oh, you hit it on the head. It's not just about Gory achieving his dreams so much. When it brings that power slam, it's not about Gory achieving his dreams so much as it is taking away everyone else's and making everyone else feel that same pain and misery that has just overtaken Gory.
Justice here, trying to mount a comeback. Both men are shot early on. I mean, the high impact, the high intensity of the Super Indy tournament matches. You may notice the matches going long, but you see these guys are worn down a lot quicker because they're pulling out all the stops.
Nice rocker dropper by Matthew Justice. We got a hook of the leg, 2 and no, near fall.
We got a little cocky. There with the man.
I'll tell you what, endurance, as I touched on a moment ago, is the name of the game here. If you're going to win this tournament and this championship, you're going to have 3 matchups tonight before we're all said and done. What's the right divide there? You got to try to win this matchup early, as Matt tried to do earlier, but man, you got to have something else left in the tank if you're going to go on.
That's right, Joe. You got to take it one match at a time. But in the back of your mind, you got to be thinking, with this new format, nobody's getting a bye. The winner of this tournament will win 3 matches tonight, and that's going to take a lot of endurance. So while you got to focus on the task at hand, in the back of your mind, you got to know you got 2 more coming after.
And Gory gets slingshot into that second turnbuckle. Those new turnbuckles may look great, but they don't feel so hot. Steel metal bolt right behind them. Justice going jackhammer. Got it the second time. Gory counted earlier. Is this going to be enough? Got it! And the curse almost continued for Jason Gory for the 5th straight Super Indy that he's been involved in. And Gory still harkens back to that fact that he won the championship in a non-tournament affair in Super Indy number 6 and had to forfeit it to the winner that night, the late great Larry Sweeney. Gory still feels jobbed out by the fact his title reign was only about an hour long.
He's got his chance tonight to change that, Joe, to get some redemption, but he's not going to do it if he fights like this, risking disqualification.
And just barely breaks before the 5 count. You can see the official getting frustrated himself.
No, and the official could have made a decision to disqualify him there. He chose instead to be aggressive and just break the choke, but Gory could have easily been eliminated for that one.
Well, the official trying to get rid of that wrapping that Gory's been using as an offensive weapon. Justice pushed off. As action continues, Gory playing it safe here, and that's that choke. Gory calls this pestilence. And that hand of Gory is dangerously close to the air passage of Matt Justice, and Justice doing everything he can to counter before he drops to his back.
He's got to break this. He's been in there about 15 seconds now. It's not going to last much longer. He's got to break the hold.
I don't know that Justice can breathe. The official's not in a good position to check that hand of Gory. This could be a straight-out smother.
He's almost out. He has to do this. This could be it. Oh, no.
Oh, the back heel trip at Justice is down, and he's prone. He's in danger here. Is Matt going to tap away Super Indy? He's fading. The arm drops once, 3 times, and we're done. That's pestilence. Ended Matt Justice. It has.
Here is your winner as a result of a submission, and moving on to the second round, Gory!
And Joe, that one was over the minute Matt Justice left his feet. Gory had that cinched in. You can see the light fading away from Justice, and Gory breaks the curse right here. Super Indy.
And you can see that tunnel vision on Gory. It was all about pain, all about misery, all about sapping the life out of Matthew Justice. And you may not like it, but it's darn sure effective in between those moments. Gory will meet the winner of our next matchup, which will be Pepper Parks and Michael Facade. Gory could get his wish. He can kill the dreams of Facade before we're all said and done. Facade's got to get things Pepper first, and that's coming up in just a moment.
The following first round matchup is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, being escorted to ringside by Cherry Bomb. He weighs in at 225 pounds, wrestling out of Buffalo, New York. Here is Pepper Parks.
Well, Pepper Parks was our scheduled mystery entrant here this evening that we did not know about in advance. But Pepper Parks makes his career in the upstate New York area as had television appearances with WWE over the years, and we've seen him in IWC in the past as well. And he's always been involved in that Super Indy division.
We talked about a little bit of an advantage, Joe, to start things off. Where all the other competitors were able to prepare for their opponents. Pepper Parks is on an out. He's got that element of surprise now working on his side. And unfortunately, for Michael Facade, the man who was expecting him high, he has no preparation at all for this.
And it's very interesting in this updated seating to see history entrant Raw, the defending champion. And it's been tradition in years past that maybe the champion surrenders the title every year before Super Indy, very Japanese style custom. But in recent years we've seen some of the champions choose to defend that crown, and this year, no different.
And his opponent, he weighs in at 185 pounds, and he is roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping. He is the current reigning IWC Super Indy champion, Michael the Bomber Facade.
Well, a man who certainly achieved a dream in his own right this past December. What a hellacious 4-way ladder match it was that led to Facade capturing the Super Indy Championship. It's been a tumultuous ride ever since then, with the betrayal of his best friend Gory and so many tough tests along the way. But Facade could enter a real coming of age tonight. He is the Super Indy Samurai. Really be the first man to enter and leave a tournament with title intact.
Joe, the odds are certainly not in his favor anymore. Facing the mystery man, as we already discussed, Facade walked into this expecting to only have to win 2 matches to win the tournament. Now with revised seeding, having to win 3. But he's a fighting champion. You didn't hear him complain when he found out about he's out here to fight, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Facade, as he does everywhere he goes, leaves his mark on Super Indy amongst these ringside fans. He's certainly about to do the same in the ring as well. But you raised a very interesting point. How must you feel if you are Michael Facade going into tonight, you expected a bye because you are the defending champion, but then again, so did Pepper Parks because he was replacing the IWC heavyweight champion, Logan Shulo. Both these men are thrown through the loop right now, and they have to fight it out amongst themselves to see who gets that rightful spot in the next round.
Yeah, they thought they'd be sitting in the back right now. Here they are out here in the second match of the night, so hopefully they're stretched out, warmed up, ready to go. We're about to find out.
Well, we know Facade always is stretching out for hours before his matches, neck bridges, as limber as possible. But, and I don't mean to ignore this, but what about Cherry Bomb ringside in the corner of Pepper Parks?
Yeah, wait a minute here. Now we're getting serious.
Should be interesting to see if she plays a factor as these men go collar and elbow centering. Not needless to say, the power and size advantage is in the favor of Pepper Parks, who also has the experience advantage in general, certainly not here in IWC, however. But Pepper Parks trained extensively across the Midwest and Northeast, perhaps most notably the Heartland Wrestling Association in years gone by, with the wonderful Les Thatcher presiding over that, a mentor to many across this business, no matter where you go. And Pepper certainly has the fundamentals, and since that time has added a lot of power and a lot of great mat technique to his game as well.
When you want to talk about advantages and disadvantages, one thing that Michael Facade does have the advantage with is he's got home field advantage right here tonight. And you don't want to overlook, in wrestling or any sport, the fact of the comfort of your locker room, your routine, the preparation that you go through before the big event. It makes a difference when you have that comfort and when you're in your own atmosphere, in your own setting. We'll see if Michael Facade can use that advantage to move on to the second round.
Facade made his Super Indy tournament debut in Super Indy XI, losing to the Pope D'Angelo Dinero. He had a second chance, did Facade, to requalify in a later round due to an injury, which he successfully did, and then came up short against fellow tournament participant here tonight, Sammy Callahan, the Callahan Death Machine. Facade, in the opinion of many, had his breakthrough performance a year ago at the 10th anniversary of Super Indy, when Facade defeated former IWC champion Rickey in the opening round. Facade was down by the eventual winner, Egotistico Fantastico, in the semis last year, but Ego fell almost immediately after that tournament due to a serious quadricep tear that cut his IWC career short. But it's Facade exploding with a quebrada, that Mexican-style in-ring moonsault, and just further showing you the world-renowned style differential. Facade brings into these tournaments, he can hit you with so many different styles.
Facade running directly into that piss.
Not what you want to do with a guy like Pepper Parks. Facade catches Pepper on the rebound. The Integura to the outside, and Cherry Bomb, who is an accomplished competitor in her own right, checking up on Pepper.
Thank God, did you hear the sound of his foot on the skull? Pepper Parks might be out.
Facade making a count here. Oh!
Somebody check. Somebody out here.
Oh. Pepper out of the way, and needless to say, contact was made. The Cherry Bomb, and that's
purely accidental.
Yeah, but that's an unfortunate accident you never really want to see.
Let's stop this match in its tracks.
I mean, Cherry Bomb's tough, but man, that was not what Super Indy is about, obviously. We hope she's okay. As our attention deviates from this match for a moment.
I'm not sure what sort of relationship Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb have, but we'll see if that gets in his head now. He certainly looks flustered. We'll see how that carries forward, that emotion.
It could go either way. It could fluster Pepper Parks, or it could motivate him. And that's exactly what it's doing right now.
Looks like the latter, yeah.
It's just a matter of if he can keep his focus as this matchup continues, but we've seen Pepper Parks compete in a couple of qualifying matchups over the past couple of years when it comes to Super Indy titles and title opportunities. But I would say this is Pepper's biggest opportunity yet. Facade opening up on his own right here. Facade, a great striker as well, doesn't have the power and presence of Pepper, but man, he's got the training and the preparation. And now Pepper is trying to neutralize Facade and change the tempo of this match. And I think Pepper, realizing what we did, Justin, that if you get too flustered and come in at Facade too hard, too fast, it's going to be very disadvantageous to you because Facade, I said earlier Gory's the quickest guy in this tournament. I think Facade is 1A on that list.
Yeah, very quick. The two coming up together, spending so much time together, training together. They're both incredibly quick. But that's one of the interesting things about this tournament, the different styles that you see in Super Indy. You've got the strength, you've got the guys that can fly, you've got the guys that quick, you've got the guys that can do it all. And every year, a different style wins it, so it's really up for grabs.
Some of those martial arts style palm strikes. Very well versed in the Japanese style. Certainly more so than Pepper Parks, who trained in Cincinnati. And you can see that gum just flying out of Facade's mouth. And a lot of people ask, why do wrestlers chew gum during matches?
I thought that was a piece of his tongue.
Very well could have been. But it's certainly dangerous to chew gum during a wrestling match, but it's also advantageous because chewing of gum helps you with your endurance. And endurance certainly helps you, it controls your breathing.
Where'd you find that? Wikipedia?
Well, that's just a fact. You hang around wrestling long enough, you learn stuff. And Facade using that, well, at least for a moment, but Pepper just knocked the gum right out of his mouth, and that could affect Facade's endurance going through. Facade elevates Pepper with the atomic drop. Certainly that's not Japanese style, but it's certainly effective. Inverted style now.
Line him up.
Matrix style counter into the heel kick.
How does he do that?
And off comes the gi. Facade looking to streamline his path to the semis, but not so easy. Keep in mind, Facade's got Gory waiting for him in the catacombs. If he could get through Pepper Parks.
Oh, and you know Facade would love to get his hands on Gory, but he's got to stay focused on the task at hand. Incredible balance.
Walking the rope, the drop kick, hook of the leg, near fall. And the only man that may want that altercation in the second round more than Facade is Gory himself. They would love to knock the other out of this tournament. I'm sure both men would love to see that in the finals, actually, but not the way the bracketing shook out with this absolutely chaotic, hectic Super Indy day. As Facade able to connect with the leg to the outside. Going springboard again.
See what he has in store.
Facade loves the old dog. Amazing balance, amazing precision.
Pepper's out.
Facade can do it. Hook it. A guy that's really had some of his biggest career moments here at Super Indy XI in a non-tournament matchup. Facade won the tag titles of IWC along with the debuting Johnny Gargano.
Now what's he have in store here, Joe?
Springboard again, Arabian style moonsault. Pepper gets the knees up. And all the wind, you can almost feel it rushing out of the body of Facade. Pepper with a backcracker. Facade could be out. Champion could be out in the first round. This could do it here. No.
Facade barely having the strength to get his shoulder out. I mean, he couldn't even kick out there. He just got the shoulder off the mat, which is all you need to do, but dangerously close to making an early exit.
Gotta believe Facade putting a lot of pressure on himself here. He is the incumbent title holder. Facade gets the foot up. Pepper went to charge through. And
Said he's got to make the cover. Facade's out.
did you see the impact of that knee right to the side of the head?
Pepper Parks wants to inflict more damage here.
Buckle bomb in the corner.
This is relentless.
And it's only the first round. A multiple recovered three-handle family credenza. Shades of Perry Saturn near fall. And Pepper rolls Facade to the center of the ring. The ropes for the enemy. And Pepper in that case. Facade had an extra few moments to recover, and that could have been what kept him alive.
Facade's taking blow after blow, impact after impact. I don't know where he found it himself to kick out. But at this point, even if Facade finds a way to move on, I don't know what he's going to have left in the tank. Pepper Parks is really laying it on.
We're up top. Facade battling here precariously on top. can hear the impact.
Listen to the thuds every time, losing more and more wins. Nasty.
Facade.
It's going to be a defining moment in the match here. Both of them at risk.
Oh, Pepper gets the better of it. Pepper had the better balance there, being on the second turnbuckle as opposed to the top. And Pepper going high risk. What Super Indy's about. Huge neck breaker, nicely done. Pepper, cover, got it.
Where is Facade finding the power to kick out of this?
It's the same fight we saw.
Pepper's frustrated, Joe.
Well, Pepper still got cherry bomb on the mind, of course. Pepper does not want to lose here, fighting for the honor of his girl. Facade need a counter. Springboard, martial arts kick at round kick connects. And Facade. It's a huge kick. And not going for the submission. The dreadlock.
He's got it cinched in.
That amazing neck strength, that flexibility, that versatility allows Facade to keep that dreadlock in. And Pepper taps our second submission of the night.
Your winner is a solid submission. And moving into the second round, the current reigning Super Indy champion, Michael the Bomber Facade.
Michael Facade retains his championship for at least another round. The man who's hit so many strides in Super Indy retains in the quarters when he's got 2 more to go, and he wants to be the man to make history once and for all. And in the semifinals, he has a very vindictive and bitter former friend waiting for him. Facade and Gory coming up in the next round. Can the Neon Ninja retain the championship and remain the Super Indy Samurai?
Nelson Plummer here with a man that's making his IWC debut right here tonight at Super Indy 11. It's the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor. As you might have heard, my name is the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor, and I hail from the great state of Kentucky. And I come here tonight, here at the Super Indy for one purpose and one purpose only. And that's to take that Super Indy title out of the disgusting state of Pennsylvania back to the motherland of Kentucky. Tonight, what's his name? Aiden Vale? Yes! Aiden Vale, buddy. I think you bit off a little more than you can chew. Because I'm going to the finals of this tournament, and I'm winning the whole thing.
Invisible grenade!
Pedro, back to you.
Just introduction here for Chuck Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, first round matchup is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, he weighs in at 200 pounds, wrestling out of Murray, Kentucky. He is the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor.
Certainly wasn't expecting him to have the kind of attitude that he's brought in here, but it is what it is, and he's got a real chance of walking out of here doing what he said, taking the Super Indy title back to Kentucky.
Well, Chuck Taylor, or as he sometimes calls himself, Chuck T, he's got a lot of nicknames. The one the one he's most proud of is the Kentucky gentleman. He feels that he's a Southern aristocrat, when really he's just a guy from Kentucky. I don't think he's really any better or worse than anybody else, but he certainly thinks he is. He was raised to believe that people in Kentucky are superior. Quick reaction for Aiden Vale, who shocked the world of IWC Wrestling a few weeks ago in West Virginia. He defeated former 4-5-time Super Indy champion Big League John McChesney and captured John McChesney's Super Indy spot. It's something we never expected to see out of this kid this early.
So Aiden Vale is on fire. You're talking about a guy who just got his first singles victory in the IWC a few short months ago, and there was no looking back ever since then. Defeating John McChesney, getting into this tournament, and this has got to be the opportunity of a lifetime, a chance to stake his claim in the history of IWC.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of young guys cut their teeth in Super Indy, so to speak. Of course, the best example I could think of would be Jason Gory and Sheena Zion back back in 2005. They were each only 18 years of age. They faced Loki and Homicide respectively, and it was a night I, and most certainly they, will never, ever forget. Wade and Bale fare better? Time to tell.
And Joe, you gotta love watching matches like this with young up-and-comers like Aiden Bale, because as everybody knows, the storied history of all the participants in Super Indy, guys like CM Punk, AJ Styles, Evan Bourne, Christopher Daniels, our own Zema Ion, the list goes on and on. We can really go all night. They all passed through here before they made it big time, and this could be Aiden Bale one day on the next level. He could be getting a start here. That's why this match is so important to him.
Yeah, the Super Indy title is really almost a stepping stone of sorts to national and international fame and fandom. And we're not saying Super Indy, well, that's the only reason these guys are successful. No, but it's a major, major plateau in their career. A guy like Colt Cabana, Chris Sabin,
And the drumsticks.
That's questionable. That could be a disqualification. Let's look at that. We're even.
For Troy Davis, a little bit liberal, but I agree. Let it slide. Let's get it.
Standing moonsault. Auto press for two. Chris Sabin, Delirious, Larry Sweeney, Jerry Lynn. Certainly Super Hentai on two different occasions. Guys like that who have taken the title to Japan, who have competed in Ring of Honor, in TNA, while being the Super Indy champion, and certainly later on as well, to move on to such huge events, WrestleManias.
And like you said,
Cover again.
like you said, it's not. You're not saying that the Super Indy tournament, the Super Indy title made these guys, but it sure is one heck of a measuring stick to see who has what it takes when they take it to the next level. Because if you don't have what it takes to do it here, you're not moving on.
And that's this kind of guy like Sterling James Cannon, who won Super Indy 4, now in Florida Championship Wrestling. A guy like John McChesney, who is a most decorated champion. Actually, McChesney won Super Indy 4, excuse me. But McChesney has dominated this organization, and that's no easy feat.
So we can't forget about Chuck Taylor. I mean, what do you know about this guy? He's made a name for himself around the country. He's a rising star of his own.
He's competed all over the place for many, many major promotions. Dragon Gate USA, Chikara Combat Zone Wrestling, a number of others. He has certainly a reputation and certainly a fan following, as these people here tonight will attest to. Chuck Taylor is very cocky. Very self-reliant. Likes strength and numbers as well, though. We've seen him associated with other organizations with a variety of top groups. But Chuck Taylor just believes that he is better than everybody else. Because he was born, bred, and raised to believe that, well, Kentucky has the most dignified Southern gentleman. I know a few guys from Kentucky. I don't know about that.
We saw him there with the arrogant cover, letting his personality kind of shine through there. Possibly could have put this one away if he was taking it a little bit more seriously.
What about young Aiden Bale? Could be the biggest win of his career by far to knock off a man who has been all over this world.
You've seen a very big contrast and experience between the young Aiden Bale and the veteran Chuck Taylor.
Well, it's do or die for Aiden Bale. Opportunities like this do not come around often. Usually, guys have to wait 2, 3, 4 years for this opportunity, if not more. Aiden's got it in his rookie. What is he doing? Well, Chucky T trying to show off. I think it's only starting to fire Aiden Bale up. He had a moment to get a breather there.
I don't know if Sorgatron Media's special effects are real, but nonetheless,
Cover? No.
the tables have turned in Aiden Bale's favor.
It'll take a lot more than draping a leg to hold the shoulders down to Chuck Taylor, that's for sure. Shoulders and just drops. Aiden Bale face first on that foot. The clothesline, and Bale with the enziguri. Couldn't get high enough around the neck area. Got the shoulder. Overhead neck breaker follows through. Aiden Bale looking good. Could have him.
Nice, he went quickly for the cover. Showing a little bit of wisdom beyond his years by doing that.
Hey, Aiden's been watching his Super Indy tapes. You gotta believe Aiden Bale, years ago, used to sit in the front row, right opposite of where we're sitting back here. He sat in the front row, and he watched Super Indies in this building for a number of years. So you can't tell me he hadn't been watching this and dreaming of being here for so long.
5 minutes followed by this contest 5 minutes.
He loved what he saw, Joe, and he took it seriously, and he started training, he started working out.
Yeah.
He really has dedicated his life to getting into that ring, and it showed. As we've said, huge opportunity for a guy that has just gotten his first singles win in the IWC a few months ago.
It's literally a dream probably since 13, 14, 15 years old. Aiden Bale's wanted to be here, and he's waited all this time, and now he's got his moment. Nobody else he was sitting with was in Super Indy, I know that. So Aiden Bale going up top now. And you know what, Justin, that's the same way that Larry Sweeney ended up in the Super Indy, watching Super Indy 2 as a fan, and he ended up winning the championship at Super Indy 6. 450, nobody home but a great roll through.
Wow, unbelievable.
Well, Aiden Bale, used that momentum to elevate Chucky T, but couldn't sustain that momentum. Once he got him up, Chuck fires back. Battles through. And wait a second. This is the Kentucky crowd. The Half Boston crowd. And Chuck Taylor looking to make it 3 for 3 on the submissions. Will Aiden Bale tap away? This is an extremely powerful hold. Pressure on the lower back and the patella
Here is your
tendon.
winner, and moving on to the second round, the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor's just mastered that Boston crowd. You sit down tight on the lower back, no air in between the bodies. You wrench back on that knee, and there's nowhere to go when Chuck Taylor's big frame's on top of you.
Joe, Aiden Bale's dream comes to an end early here tonight, but I don't think this is the last that Super Indy has seen of Aiden Bale.
No, I'm proud of Aiden Bale, living his dream, getting to step in the ring at Super Indy 11 after so many years of watching from the other side of the guardrails. Hey, he drew a tough match in round 1. Had he had another opponent, it could have been different. It could have been a result that would have seen Aiden Bale go on much further. But man, just to live your dream and make it here, I'm proud of this kid. He's got a bright future. But who's got the brightest future out of arguably the two hardest hitters in this tournament? Sami Callahan and Rickey Shane Page. That's coming up in just seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is the final first round matchup in the Super Indy 11 tournament. Introducing first, he weighs in at 280 pounds, representing the state of Ohio.
Justin, I think the big question to ask right now is, which Rickey Shane Page are we going to get tonight?
I don't know, but we're about to see a battle of those cannons. We're about to witness in front of us here that both these guys are a little bit off the edge.
It's unstable versus unstabler.
I don't know which one's which, but you got that. Then we got the nice Rickey, you know, start things off.
Well, we've seen Rickey Shane Page defeat Omega Aaron Draven, a very game youngster from Erie, Pennsylvania, to qualify for this tournament. And ever since then, it's been hot and cold with this guy. He's either a nice guy, he's your friend, or he just wants to tear apart Zima Ion or any number of opponents he's in there with.
And his opponent, he weighs in at 205 pounds, wrestling out of the last house on the left. He is the Callahan Death Machine, Sammy Callahan.
Anyone who would be proud about living in the last house on the left, he's got some problems, let me tell you.
No, this guy scares me.
The Callahan Death Machine. We talked earlier about Gory being the most Super Indy tournament experience. When you're talking about pro wrestling tournaments in general, you talk about this man, Sami Callahan. I will get into that in just a minute. But if you look strictly on paper, to me, Sami Callahan's your odds-on favorite.
Well, the latest episode, the latest edition of Pro Wrestling Insider actually has Sami Callahan rated signed next by one of the big promotions.
Rickey Shane Page
And that could have ended things really quick.
almost voted Sammy most likely to be next eliminated.
But Sammy can make this come true, can make the prediction come true with a big tournament win here tonight. Starting with Rickey Shane Page, but things aren't looking good to start off.
Well, these guys aren't wasting any time. They're going for impact early. And again, you see that quick metamorphosis of Rickey Shane Page, almost with a snap of fingers. He just turns into just a very, very mentally unstable and sadistic individual. And we're still not sure what the root of the issue with him and Zima Ion is.
And I don't know if we ever will. But one thing I do know, Joe, is buckle your seatbelt. This is going to be a physical match.
McShane Page, most of his career was in a tag team. Certainly that's a much different dynamic than what we see here tonight in a singles tournament atmosphere. The one thing about RSP that's always been true, he's been one of the hardest strikers anywhere in this industry, and Sammy's right at the top of that list as well. Could support the weight. Rickey Shane Page is probably at least, what, 260 or 70?
Man, that's the third 2 count he's gotten just minutes in.
Well, Sandy Callahan not starting out the way he anticipated. It's all Rickey Shane Page right now. And, man, a guy that goes from your friend one minute is wanting to just completely decimate you the next.
I'm not going to lie, Joe. I'm incredibly surprised.
Come here.
Another 2 count. I'm incredibly surprised with the success that Rickey Shane Page is having so far early this match.
This is Rickey's first Super Indy tournament. Sammy made his debut in IWC in a tournament. It was actually an IWC heavyweight title tournament. Sammy made headlines throughout the IWC world when he defeated Super Hentai in his debut, and that's a feat that very, very few can say they achieved. Sammy made his Super Indy debut with Super Indy XI. And well, action is pulling to the outside. And I'm not sure who this is going to favor. Sammy competes primarily out of the CZW promotion, which is all about ultra violence. So Sammy with a place to kick right on the outside.
And Shane Page in a vulnerable spot. He want to get away from the ring post.
Yeah, we'll get back to Sammy's Super Indy history in a minute here. We're going to watch on the outside because both these guys are absolutely lethal on the floor. Sammy dropped on the ring frame.
Joe, tell him about the ring frame.
That is the hardest part of a wrestling ring. Metal meets wood. There is no support. There's no give. There's no padding. And all that just driven up into the back of Sami Callahan.
Sami Callahan taking a beating here at the hands of Rickey Shane Page.
Second time. Got it. You notice Sammy tried to hold on to that ring rope to cushion his fall, so to speak, but nothing doing.
We knew this was going to be hard hitting. We knew it was going to be physical. Hasn't disappointed so far. What is he doing? He's lost.
Mocking these fans. How much he loves it when they clap. Is he mocking them? Does he really enjoy it? I don't know. Sami Callahan made his debut in Super Indy XI. He actually defeated the, at that time, champion Delirious to gain the #1 seed and knock Delirious out of the tournament entirely. And check out the intensity of Callahan here.
Callahan's about to out crazy Rickey Shane Page.
Sammy beat Delirious, went on in the next round to beat Facade, and lost to Super Hentai in the semifinals. And that was the largest Super Indy tournament in history. That's when we had that field of 12 or 14 or whatever it was. Had that been a field of 8 or 10, Sammy could have won it all. That's what we're looking at tonight. But Sammy was not able to connect on a takedown. Well, that gesture tells it all. And can you top this in the striking game? Who's going to hit hardest? That's who's going to win. That's the question that was in this matchup.
Imagine the power. He went cover.
Not here. No.
The power behind that clothesline to completely flip Rickey Shane Page. I mean, it's going to be like a cannonball straight out of the can.
Well, I've known Sami Callahan for 3 or 4 years. He's always been around that 200-pound mark, but his lariats have always been compared to Stan Hansen, who's about 280. And Shane Page falls on top for 2. Sami has got to learn to maneuver around the weight of Rickey Shane Page because thus far it is not working. Oh, elbow pad off. Sami actually used to be about 350 pounds before he went on that incredibly dedicated crash diet and lost about 150 pounds in about a year and a half. Sami connects with a kick.
We've seen this before.
Face wash coming out. Shot those boot scrapes. They will leave a mark and a lasting impact, that's for sure.
Fans want it again. They're going to get it.
Got it a second time. You want to talk about tournament history, folks. Going for a third one.
I don't know if Ricky Shane Page can take another.
Well, Sammy's taking a lot of time. It cost him.
Nice heads-up maneuver by Ricky Shane Page. Could have been all over. He took a third.
But Sammy's got that versatility. Let's talk about the cover in the ring. 2-0, the best of the best tournament in Philly. The Jeff Peterson Cup in Florida. WXW 16th Carat Tournament in Germany. The Shamrock Memorial Cup. The TPI Tournament in the Midwest. Multiple times in the best of the best tournament. The Japanese tournaments. Sammy has been in all of these, and he's been a finalist or winner in each and every one of these tournaments. He's been in 3 countries, countless regions, and dozens of world travel opponents.
Big man is going for a high-risk maneuver. Everybody's pulling out all the stops tonight.
Nobody can compare to Sammy's resume, but Sammy gets underneath with a back suplex this time.
Holding him up like an accordion.
Sammy got it though.
Joe, we're seeing kickouts tonight where I believe on a normal night, under regular circumstances, guys might just mail it in, call it quits, try to save themselves from serious injury. But every competitor so far, all 8 of the Super Indy competitors have just been showing unbelievable resilience, kicking out of finishing maneuvers that we've seen end guys.
Well, I would disagree with the verbiage of any of our guys mailing it in, but I do agree with your point that at times you have to think about serious injury and living to fight another day. But for these guys, some of these athletes, their year builds to this. This night has been made on pushing your body beyond its normal limits, and we got 8 guys who are the personification of that doctrine. Look out! Sammy elevated and kicked on the way down. Could do it here. No. You gotta wonder, Chuck Taylor watching in the back, does he have a preference who we meet in the semifinals? A no-win situation if I'm Chuck.
I think Chuck Taylor just wants an opportunity to come out here and start his stuff again. I don't think he cares who he faces.
I think Chuck's maybe hoping for a double count out and a bye.
They couldn't blame him.
Well, Sammy on top. We've seen some of this backfire in our opening round matchup so far.
Yeah, Joe, when you see both guys go up top like this, it's always a make or break moment for the match.
Well, superplex. Callahan hangs on. Series of headbutts right to the temple. See that side of the head.
Ricky Shane Page somehow, though, Joe, still holding on to that top rope.
That's the only, he lost his balance. That rope was the only thing keeping Page up. Powerbomb attempt here. And Callahan takes away the balance the hard way. Just kicks the leg out from under.
Man, just blown out his knee. That was a vicious kick.
Stretch muffler.
Here it is.
Signature Sammy Callahan submission. Rearing back with all of his energy, all that torque. And we're 4 for 4 on submission.
Here is your winner as a result of the submission, and moving on to the second round, Sammy Callahan.
The man who is tournament tested gets to the semi-final. Much to be seen in Super Indy's past, but this year, like he's done so many times across this world, can Sammy go all the way? Rickey's still calling out Zima. I still don't know why.
Does he know where he's at right now? Does he know he just lost?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a special 5-way matchup scheduled for one fall to determine the #1 contender to the IWC Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, he weighs in at 200 pounds, receiving formal training in Hayabusa, Japan. Here is Super Hentai!
Joe, you heard Pedro. This is a one-fall match. This is not elimination. This is the first of the 5 men to score a pinfall or submission for your new IWC Heavyweight Championship #1 contender.
And this is big. At least 4 guys that have a legitimate right to that crown, and one other that is a question mark. Hentai, former tag champion, multiple times Super Indy champion, never been the IWC champion. A man who was taken out of action a few months ago by former champion Jimmy DeMarco in an effort to, well, I guess kind of eliminate the competition before the competition got to him.
Maybe I'm looking a little bit too into things, Joe. It's just something to pique my curiosity. Hentai in the founding fathers feature.
Not much left of the founding fathers, but I think Hentai still retains that mindset of the fact that, yeah, he's an innovator, he's a pioneer here. Hey, he won the first ever Super Indy tournament. We can't take that away from him. He wants that respect, but...
Introducing combatant #2, he weighs in at 222 pounds, wrestling out of the North Shore, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is the War Machine, Dennis Gregory!
And speaking of the founding fathers, Joe, here's a man that we haven't seen in quite some time. As a matter of fact, it was right here at Case Fury in 2011. Dennis Gregory is back in the IWC.
Well, Dennis was the guy who said, if I cannot successfully complete my mission in Cage Fury, I'll walk away. Dennis Gregory did, and I notice again, Justin, to your point, and now increasingly eerie similarities. Dennis Gregory is also wearing a founding father's hat.
We'll watch and see what he's all about. Maybe we're looking too much into him, but I don't know. He's kind of pointing out to everybody.
And Gregory and Hentai both raising up the same, I guess, dance signal.
Just that founding father's back. See, I mean, that gives these two a huge advantage if this is true. If they plan on working together in this one.
I wanna see you be back.
Good boy. He weighs in at 200 out of Albany, New York. He is the party peacock, Dalton.
On the street, you could sound better.
There's no fight, no big birthday presents, birthday cake. Party Peacock Dalton Castle is all business tonight. He's got double right here.
And Dalton's had his issues with a number of former champions, notably John McChesney over the lines. And Dalton has a win-loss record that is near impeccable. I think that's certainly more qualifies him for this deal. And what about the way that this crowd has really adopted Dalton as their own?
The guy's always been about himself, but he's grown on the fans. The fans can respect that. The fans can respect a guy that's looking to succeed.
Has he grown on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Now another big return.
Introducing combatant #4, he weighs in at 233 pounds, wrestling out of Houston, Texas, by way of Cleveland, Ohio.
Lord caliber of this match, I can only imagine who the fifth man's going to be, but even if it weren't just these 4, whoever earns that #1 contender spot, man, they're really going to have to earn it.
Rowe is a former IWC champion that spent much of 2011 feuding with John McChesney, feuding with Jimmy DeMarco. And I'll tell you this, Rowe, in many people's estimation, would have won the IWC title if not for some, well, demons from his past come back to haunt him.
No introduction. Pedro, no introduction. I'm not number 5, and I would never be number 5. I'll tell you that right now. Listen. Now, I realize right now. Then Pedro, turn your mic off. I realize for the.
Come on, Pedro!
There we go. Now, here's the thing. I realize I owe the four of you an explanation. And I understand that. Because when I booked this match, the idea was that a guy named Jimmy DeMarco did everything that he could to screw me and the fans, that I was going to do whatever I could to make it so difficult for him to get a title shot that he'd have to go through four others. That was the whole idea and concept. Fact of the matter is, Jimmy's not here. He won't be here. That's true and that's a fact. That's his choice. Now then, if you go back and take a look at what happened like Super Hentai in Clearfield, your knee. If you remember Dalton Castle, you're not in the Super Indy tournament thanks to two nice guys. And Dennis Gregory, I sure as hell know why you're here. You're here for one reason, retribution. Yeah, for Jimmy Vegas. And I know why Ray Rowe is here. Do you know why I picked Ray Rowe? Because he just doesn't like anyone.
Rowe's gonna kill you. Rowe's gonna kill you.
Now, Rowe could kill someone, Dalton could kill someone, but you know what? Here's the thing. If you go back and take a look, especially when it came down to a masked man, you find out that Jimmy DeMarco wasn't working alone. If you go back and take a look, guys, you remember? In fact, let me just very simplistically bring him out here. Chest Flexor, get out here right now!
He's the guy?
No music, no fanfare, you're not wearing any stupid garb, you're not coming out with your girlfriend. Flexor, get out here right now!
It's like throwing blood into shark-filled water if it is Flexor. He'd be smart.
Get out here now! Get out here!
Drag him out, Chuck.
Flexor, get out here now. If you want your contract, you can put your stuff on.
What in the world?
Get out here.
Flexor.
Now, Flexor, let me ask you a question. When a masked guy hit Hentai in the knee and took out Dalton Castle, and you know the fact that if you answer this question correctly, Rose is probably going to kill you. And the fact that Dennis Gregory doesn't care because he came all the way back from Afghanistan to hurt someone. So let me ask you this. Who wore the mask? I don't know. I didn't see anybody wearing any mask. Oh, you didn't, did you? It wasn't, right? You have no idea, right? So it wasn't you. So you're off the hook. That's right. All right, you know what? I don't care if you wore the mask or not. If you win this match, and God bless you if you do, you get a title shot. But boys, trust me, because I know that you may not like me, but I know you sure as hell don't care for him, and I know that you guys hated DeMarco. You want to know who your mask guy was? Right here. Ring the bell, enjoy yourself, go.
Wow. Bell sounds are underway. Chest Flexor, one of the masterminds behind the DeMarco-McChesney coalition, and it's affected a lot of lives over the recent past, and the Sharks are swarming.
Officially, it's a five-way, but it's starting to look like a 4-on-1 handicap there.
It's one fall, and I think I know who that fall will be perpetrated upon. It's just a question of who. And the fact that it is one fall creates a very interesting dynamic because it's not going to be 4-on-1, because only one guy can win and get the title shot.
Well, eventually, these guys are going to have to turn on each other.
Against the winner of Logan, Shulo, and John McChesney. Coming?
No thanks.
We're going to inspect Chest Flexor because who knows what in the world he may be carrying around.
Well, I mean, his pants were down when he walked out here, so I'm not sure if we really need to check.
There's nothing clean about Chest Flexor.
And Dalton Castle can see his wiener.
Chest Flexor, we hardly knew you. Jimmy Vegas, another victim of the masked man.
How did Flexor allow himself to be surrounded by these men? What a goof.
What a maroon. He's about to be turned into 4 maroons.
Oopsie daisy!
10 feet! Well, this is what you call karma. Comeuppance. Paying your dues.
No, but there is power. This one's for Vegas.
This is what you do to the kid that you want to take his lunch money in the back of the playground. Was that it? Are we going to have a match now?
Now that everybody's warmed up,
Now that Flexor's dead, I think we can start.
one fall, winner gets a future IWC Championship opportunity. And 4 out of 5 of these men are very, very deserving, as we documented during the entrances. Very difficult to pinpoint who has any kind of an edge here. They all have the track record. They all have the championship pedigree. They all have the motivation based on personal and professional animosity. It's Hentai and Castle, obviously, starting this out. Another dangerous aspect here is there will be tags in this matchup, and you can't win if you're not the legal man. This time,
Look at the power.
peacock power, baby. Velociraptor type power.
Look at this, Founding Fathers. Possibly tagging.
We really haven't gotten a clear-cut answer as far as where that group stands.
I want to look more into that in the future here. Maybe the next episode of IWC Aftershock, perhaps?
You mean the kind that's only available on IWCWrestling.com?
IWCWrestling.com.
Well, better you than me to get that assignment to go into the Founding Father locker room, if there indeed is a Founding Father locker room still.
I'll send my camera person. Thank you.
There's Gregory, the most experienced and cerebral athlete in this entire organization. Only man to hold the IWC title 5 times.
He's been gone for almost a year now. We'll see if he has any ring rust. His first match back.
And it does seem Gregory and Hentai are working in tandem right now. Picking up where the group left off, of course, minus, well, every other member of the group.
Yeah.
We're not sure how McChesney stands about this. McChesney had pretty much gone on his own with the Marco. And Vegas is still hurt from the Masked Man, and really everybody else has been a non-factor.
And still, Joe, at some point, I mean, you can work together as long as you want, but only one man can win a match. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if these two work together, what their plan is to wrap things up here.
Well, I think the strategy of the Fathers has always been, as long as it stays in the family, it's cool. They want all the titles, all the control, and certainly they've lost all of that right now. If they can get a championship back, especially the championship of IWC, they're right back in the hunt. Great vertical leap by Castle. Watch out for Rowe! Man, the physicality just gets up tenfold when Rowe is in that ring. Gregory got 2 for the price of 1 there with Castle.
Both men down.
Gregory first won the IWC title way back in 2002. And Rowe explodes with a T-bone. Rowe is a suplex machine.
Joe, I'm sitting here trying to determine which of these 4 men I'd like to see get a shot at the title. And to be honest with you, I think a title match with Logan, Shulo, or John McChesney between any of these men would be incredible.
Well, you can't argue that all 4 men are worthy and deserving in their own way. Pretty much all of them have been screwed out along the way by somebody in a major championship match or in the lead-up to one.
I don't know if the camera caught that, but then it's Gregory just sent hard into the steel post by Dalton Castle.
You think Chest Flexor's moved yet? You know, he's still in the match, believe it or not.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about Chest Flexor.
I wish I could.
They didn't turn him out of here?
Well, check out Rowe. Look out! Rowe, and only had balance on 1 foot, but was still able to elevate Hentai over ahead with that Richard Sherman. That's sick.
Look what Denny Gregory found.
Oh, hey!
It's the corpse of Chest Flexor.
And Rowe having some... Oh! High angle backdrop suplex. Peacock. Hits death Rowe. Rowe could pin Dalton and have this match won.
Come on, we might have a new number one contender right here.
But I think Rowe's having so much fun with Flexor.
He's having too much fun.
And there's no direct personal issue there. It's just a hobby. Oh, powerbomb. Hitting with a spear. Everybody's down. Flexor's on top. Wait, no! Flexor was on top of Dalton.
What is it? No. For real? You gotta be kidding me. Ray Rowe, powerbomb chest Flexor on top of Dalton Castle. The 3 count. Dalton's gotta be humiliated right now. He's just been pinned by chest Flexor. And even more surprising, chest Flexor is the number one contender for the World Heavyweight title.
Here is your winner, and now the number one contender, IWC Heavyweight Championship, Chest Flexor.
I don't know.
He's going to shot at Chuck Roberts over here because he is amazed. There's a gap.
Pedro can barely even say that. I don't even think it's part of the English language putting those words together. Chest Flexor is the contender, and it's all because of Ray Rowe.
Dalton Castle can't believe it. I know Chest Flexor has no clue.
The fact of the matter is Dalton Castle was pinned by Chest Flexor. And it looks like he's blaming Ray Rowe right now, rightfully so.
And everybody's regained consciousness except the
Do you
winner.
really want that to be a world title match? Logan Shulo versus Chest Flexor?
Dalton and Rowe were both upset over how that circumstance played out, but it was fair and square. Flexor was on top. It was completely circumstantial, but by the book, Chest Flexor, he's the number one contender to the IWC Championship.
What do you think about that, Chuck?
The hell?
Dalton's not happy at all. We're seeing a serious side to Party Peacock, one that we haven't seen.
Dalton loves to have fun, but at the end of the day, it's about making money and winning titles.
He can beat up Flexor all he wants. That's not going to change the outcome of the match. And Dalton, visibly frustrated.
We're seeing a new side of Dalton Castle with the dangerous side. And it's a side that whoever the champion is after tonight and after Chest Flexor, have this guy on your radar.
If you're
oh no! These guys are back.
Now, if you're Ray Rowe, you got to watch out for Dalton Castle. He's not happy, but oh my God, are you kidding me? Do we really have to watch this?
Chest Flexor's girlfriend and the guys in the dragon suit and whatever, I don't know.
Really, Chuck? Really?
Chuck's plan backfired. I can't believe we got to watch these guys. Can somebody get him out? Can we move on to the second round of the tournament?
Get the hook.
I mean, Flexor's not even awake for this.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your new number one contender to the IWC Heavyweight Championship, Chest Flexor.
You have now entered the Twilight Zone. Wait a minute, folks. I think. Are we rolling? Are we rolling? All right, folks. It's Justin Plummer here. I don't know where Joe is. We're not really ready to get started here. We're still at intermission. But it looks like Gory and Facade couldn't wait till intermission was over. And I did see Gory pacing around, circling around Facade's merchandise table during intermission. I didn't think it would come to this. But we have some of the IWC staff, Chuck Roberts, out there trying to hold them apart. These two men just want to tear each other apart, and they can't be stopped. I think I mean, they're getting dangerously close to the ring, dangerously close to the fans. I mean, Facade's ready to get things going right now.
Come on, boy! I'm right here!
Folks, wait a minute. Gory's making his way around. Shoving Chuck Roberts. I think we're rolling. I think we're going to go. Joe Dombrowski coming back. Joe.
Here.
Hey, I know you were taking a bathroom break. I just happened to walk out. It looks like intermission's going to be cut short.
No kidding. Well,
we're not wasting any time. There's a ref out there. The lights are off. The bell has rung. I think we're going to do this.
I have no idea what happened. It was intermission of the event. I know Facade was over meeting and greeting with all of his fans at the merchandise table. And I did see when I peeked out here about 10 minutes ago, Gory just over in the corner, just walking in circles, just stewing, and not talking to anybody. And I guess he was, I don't know what he was planning on doing, but I guess whatever he planned on, he did. Because next thing I know, there's commotion and chaos out here. I gotta go. I was in the back talking to Sammy Callahan to get his strategy going forward, but
yeah, Joe, I just mentioned earlier when I saw the fight break out and I ran over here. These two men couldn't wait 5 more minutes for intermission to be over. I mean, this is what it's all about. Michael Facade, Jason Gory, not only do they want to win this tournament, they want to destroy each other.
Oh, look out, double swing on the outside. And that's what the personal animosity has led this to. Former best friends and tag team partners who are now fighting it out to destroy the other's dream.
I hate to see a double count out here so early on. You guys gotta get up.
Well, this is officially, Justin, this is officially a semifinal round matchup now. This is it.
The winner's in the final.
Yeah, if this is a double count out, next match wins it all. Facade is that great neck strength we talk about so many times. Gory, not aware, he should be, now he is. Man, Gory finally broke that curse, got out of the first round, now has the opportunity to shed years of self-doubt. Whether it be from Facade or Zima, Gory has always felt he's been in the shadows, in the background, cast aside. Tonight he can force himself into the limelight with his second round victory.
What a kick by Facade. Gory already going a step further in this tournament than he's ever gone. He got what he wanted, one-on-one with Facade. And these guys aren't holding anything back thus far.
And I can't recall a tournament matchup, aside with the cover for 2, I can't recall a tournament matchup in the 11-year history of Super Indy ever starting even remotely like that, no matter who was involved. This almost eclipses Super Indy and just goes into the personal animosity. I think the Super Indy title is the centerpiece here as a trophy of sorts for who was the man in Flippin' Ain't Easy.
And from all the years of working with Facade, Gory's got a great scouting report on him. He saw that one coming seconds ahead of what actually happened. Able to counter with a drop kick.
Well, I mean, think about this. That was technically one half. As Gory goes into the cover, gets a 2 count and change. What Facade just did was one half of the Buddy Moonsault they used to win the tag titles together.
That's right. Gory with the upper hand on his arch rival Michael Facade, pulling him up by the hair.
Why are you so angry?
Drops the point of the elbow, second time. Facade trying to shrug it off best he can. Easier said than done. That's a turd. Covering out, doing it.
I hate to say we're seeing a new and improved Gory because look at the jokes. Because I hate seeing the man like this. But this new attitude, I mean, he's been performing better since he's been overtaken by evil, I guess.
Well, I mean, he was overtaken by his own evil. That's what's the bottom line. And again, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. The focus is there, the drive is there. It's not about his own success anymore. It's about eliminating everybody else's and spreading that pain and misery and killing the hopes and dreams of Michael Facade. That's what Gory hopes to accomplish. Here he is fighting ahead. Just tearing flesh and spitting it out on the canvas.
That's a chunk of forehead.
That's sick. That's what Gory's all about. That hard impact Facade trying to fight his way out.
Yeah! Beat him with
We
the
saw
woman!
4 submission. Oh, Gory to the eyes.
Hey, Gory, when do you get your back?
We've seen Gory bite, pull hair, rake the eyes. I mean, I guess it was expected, but he's not holding anything back.
4 submissions in the first round. I can't see either of these men tapping out to the other.
Joe, I think you're right. One of these men is going to have to completely destroy the other to move on.
And that's what Gory's more than willing to do. Facade has to put himself in that mindset if he wants to survive. Gory with a clothesline. His target was behind Facade. Went for the sledge. Got the third time. Again, how well these men know each other. Third time the charm, and here comes the elbow. Over, got it. No. Gory almost into the finals. A situation years in the making, in some individuals' estimation. Certainly one of them would be Gory himself.
And if you've been visiting our Facebook page for IWC Wrestling, you'll see a lot of the fans, whether they like him or not, have predicted that Jason Gory go on and win this thing. They think it could be his year. They think the momentum, the wave of momentum he's been riding into this tournament will be enough to carry him to the title.
Yeah, it's not very often where you can look at a defending champion as an underdog. But certainly, and not just this tournament as a whole, but specifically in this Gory match, I would certainly be inclined to agree with that line of thought.
And Joe, tell me a tougher title defense than the Super Indy tournament itself. Defending the title against 7 other men in one night.
You kidding me? There's no comparison.
I guess that's why no one's ever done it.
Watch Facade. Oh no! Jeez. The official pushed into the rope by Gory. Facade loses his balance. And no doubt about Gory doing that intentionally.
Oh, it's a good move by Gory.
Get back in here! Shut up!
Gory wants the ref to get in the ring and count Facade out.
I'm assuming that's what he's referring to, yeah. He's gonna physically manhandle the guy.
Gory is flirting dangerously with being disqualified.
But Gory has a point. Any means gets you to the finals. Doesn't have to be a pin or submission. Count it or DQ are just as good, even though it's been very, very rare, if ever, we've seen a tournament matchup end that way in Super Indy.
What do you have left?
Cover, got it.
So taking that time on the outside of the ring to recover.
In Gory's mind, he can exercise years of his own demons. If he pins Facade, Gory feels he should have been in that ladder match in December. He should have won that ladder match in December. He should have never had to forfeit the Super Indy title years gone by. So much inner turmoil that is built to this personification of evil that we see in front of us today.
And it's been building for so long. This may be emotionally Gory's biggest match of his career.
I think without a doubt that's the case. And look out, Gory! We've seen him use that maneuver time and again. But again, Facade could sense it coming.
Facade with eyes in the back of his head on that one.
Almost those ninja-like skills coming into play. And now Facade, I'm not sure if he's doing this consciously because, well, he's the worst for wear right now, but Facade could pick up a count out quickly.
Halfway home here.
How does Gory react if he loses under these circumstances? That's scary. Facade favoring that shoulder. That left arm and shoulder looks like certainly less than 100%. Keeping it close to his body is Facade as he just hits those round kicks up and down Gory's anatomy.
Facade's still showing signs of wear and tear from his victory over Pepper Parks a little bit earlier on.
Gory does not have the mobility he usually does. QS! Got it! Gory took a moment to shift his weight. That may have been the difference.
That's the only reason that Facade's still alive in this one.
Unbelievably close call.
Beat him with the woman!
Gory eyeing up Facade. Facade in a very vulnerable position.
Oh, look out here.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable! We've said it over the years, but it bears repeating more so now than it ever has. This floor is not padded. It is protected with a thin covering that is used to cover the floor, to protect the floor, not these athletes.
And Gory lands on his feet. Unbelievable athleticism. This is what Super Indy is all about.
Gory has his moment. He's got his Super Indy moment. He's in the finals. Forget about it.
Gory's 3 seconds away from moving on.
How is Facade even stirring? That's what? Can he get Facade back in? Facade still fighting onward, and again, the Super Indy Creed pushing your body beyond its normal limits. Who can test themselves with the true will of a champion? It's Facade right now, but Gory going for pestilence. Facade knows the lights will go out from here.
We saw what it did to Matt Justice.
Gory with an adjustment. Trepidation. Facade reverses. Gory back around. Trepidation. Gory's gonna pin the champion. No. How is Facade doing it? No one since Gory's transformation has contested Gory like this.
And Gory might have a point here. That was dangerously close to a 3 count.
And Gory knows it. Gory knows he is meeting as tough as pestilence again. I think Gory's in one of those trances again.
He's got it cinched in.
And Facade may be about to black out as well, but in a much different way.
Why don't you leave your feet?
Oh no, that was the end for Matt Justice. Facade is down.
He's got
Gory.
his body weight on top of him too.
And Gory's body is also blocking the nearest ring rope. Facade rolling through. Facade bridging up. Wait! Facade just hit Gory!
Here is your winner and moving on to the finals, Michael the Bomber Facade.
Gory was so close to accomplishing 2 goals in 1 moment, eliminating his arch rival and moving on to the finals of the tournament. But Facade with an unbelievable reversal just before losing consciousness.
What a genius maneuver! Facade knew that Gory would not let go of that hold. That animalistic instinct, that evil, that hatred that festers inside wouldn't let Gory break it.
So Gory's not done.
Facade used Gory's own state of mind against it to beat him. Brilliant move, but watch Gory down in the lead. And Facade still got another match tonight.
He does, and I'd hate to see our tournament finals be determined by a forfeit. Can we get somebody out here?
No. Once again, Gory incensed over not being able to exercise his personal demons, not able to shake the stigma. And the title that would be his, used as an offensive weapon.
Laid him out with his own championship title belt.
Come on, stop this. Stop this before he does permanent damage.
Take that chair out of his hands.
Justin Idol on his way out here. We haven't seen him in competition in about a year. Oh, look out. Chuck Title's not medically cleared to compete. He was out here to help out some of his young trainees get control over this situation. And Justin thinking about his family, getting out of there. Let's think about Facade. Think about the Super Indy title here. He's got that leg of Facade trapped, does Gory. Facade's dreams got killed. And Facade gonna respond in kind to Gory gonna respond in kind to Facade. After Gory's own dreams were killed.
Joe, this could be it. I mean, we could be effectively seeing now Chuck Taylor versus Sami Callahan as your championship final match. If somebody doesn't get Gory out of there now.
But who dares to try?
He's a man possessed. It's like a rabid animal.
The humanity of it all.
And he's got Facade's championship. Well, Gory may have seen his own dreams die tonight, but he didn't leave quietly. Michael Facade now in heavy doubt for the Super Indy final.
We'll have to check the Super Indy rule book, Joe. I don't know. Would they allow the next match to be the finals? Will they find a replacement? I'm not sure what the rules are.
It would have to be a replacement. There's no other fair way to do it. But our doctor is out there. We'll get hopefully an update. If not beforehand, but definitely at match time. And you get Facade, whose blood-curdling screams, calling out to Gory. This issue still not settled. Hopefully,
Come on,
semifinals and finals still come.
Chuck!
Performing semi-final contest in the Super Indy tournament is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, he weighs in at 2 pounds, wrestling out of Northern Kentucky. He is a Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor.
With the condition of Facade still in heavy doubt, we have to press on and determine who Facade's eventual hopeful opponent is going to be in the finals. Kentucky gentleman looked great against Aiden in the first round, won with that Kentucky crowd, but a guy that I would never really call great looking in any respect. On his way to the moment as the opponent.
He weighs in at 205 pounds, wrestling out of the last house on the left, Sammy Callahan.
Death Machine himself overcame a highly physical encounter with Rickey. Look
Look at this guy. He's on fire up right now.
Sammy, much like Gory, hard to tell what frame of mind he's in from 1 minute to the next. Much like his first round opponent, Rickey as well, but Sammy used that stretch muffler to overcome. Two guys who, I think both of these men have very contrasting opinions as far as the crowd goes. Some love Chuck Taylor, some can't stand him, and you can say the same thing for Sami Callahan.
I don't know how anybody could love Chuck Taylor. I mean, he basically just stood backstage just a few moments ago and bashed this entire audience.
He got some imports from Kentucky here. I don't know how anybody can love Sami Callahan, but that's just he's speaking from personal.
Murder him until he dies!
I think we might have just seen the world's longest chant.
Good luck getting that one going. Sami Callahan is a workout fanatic. Not to say that Chuck Taylor isn't. And the double Norfolk offense. And I believe a kiss for good measure.
Hey, might as well. You got to start with the foreplay.
Okay, you should probably stop that sentence. I would refer to that as the kiss of death, potentially, for Chuck Taylor Super Indy.
Chuck is easy!
He's gonna be wrestling the rest of this match with sore nipples.
I hate when that happens.
Do it.
Chuck Taylor's got that Callahan sign again. Little visual art here. Leg drop on the sign.
Shades of the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Something like that.
No.
I don't think Hulk Hogan ever ripped his opponent in half with his bare hands. And now Chuck gonna eat the sign.
Tastes like schnozberries.
Again, unorthodox is the order of the day when Sami Callahan's nearby. And we talked about how tournament tested that Sami Callahan is. He did 2 other tournaments just in this company, let alone a dozen or so elsewhere. In 3 separate countries.
I bet you when the fan that made that sign was drawing it up earlier today, he didn't think that Chuck Taylor would be wrestling half of his match with it in his mouth.
Chuck Taylor's had a lot of things touch his mouth in this match he didn't expect. Chuck Taylor pumped up here. This is Chuck's IWC debut, by the by, so
He's 1-0 so far.
we've seen guys like Egotistical Fantastico come in from the outside. Jerry Lynn, a number of others, who did not have a regular spot in this roster, but they did after Super Indy because, man, they were just that damn good. Delirious, another one.
Look out, Chuck, look out!
And Chuck looks Chuck hits the edge of that ring apron.
Nothing pretty about it. Sammy Callahan just dishing out punishment.
Oh, it's like Beauty and the Beast here. Well, Mr. pointed at Chuck Taylor as far as how pretty he is. Kentucky gentleman. I don't think they have things like Sammy Callahan down in Kentucky.
He's asking a fan to rub him.
Yeah, don't finish that sentence either.
The fans in the front row getting a little more than they bargained. Up to 4 already. Chuck Taylor's on the other side of the barricade.
Well,
He's got a wooden chair. Look out.
we've had enough chaos with Gory and Facade so far tonight. We don't need any more. This official, thankfully, trying to keep order. And Chuck wants another chair. This will go on for a while.
It's Sammy.
Sammy gonna get one now.
Referee's earning his pay tonight.
Got $100 worth of front row seats involved in this matchup, laying at ringside.
May have just hyperextended Sammy Callahan's knee with that drop kick, bending it the wrong way, and now focusing on that knee. Sammy's got to, at this point, prevent any further damage to that leg.
Chuck, you a gentleman in the scholar.
Chuck Taylor learned a thing or two watching Gory a moment ago as far as systematic dissection of a body part. Maybe Chuck Taylor's practicing on Sami Callahan in preparation for Facade.
That's assuming Facade's going to be able to compete in the finals.
I mean, you have to. You can't assume you're going to get a bye to the title. You have to assume Facade's going to be able to go, even if he's not able to go. I don't have that answer.
The man can't walk, but if you're wrestle.
Well, if you're a competitor, I'm saying you have to prepare for all things, and Chuck Taylor's definitely experienced enough to be preparing for Facade, match or not. Ditto Sami Callahan.
5 minutes gone by in this contest. 5 minutes.
I gotta agree, Joe. Facade would probably most likely saw his own leg off before allowing a bad knee to stop him from competing in the finals of this tournament.
Chuck Taylor trying to put in the pace. Overhead with a belly throw. When you're talking agility, it's advantage Chuck Taylor. Strikes and mat work, you gotta go with Sami Callahan.
Come on, Chucky. Let's get cool down.
I want to talk about a contrast in style, a contrast in personalities. You're looking at a perfect example right here.
Contrast in lives, really. Across the board. Callahan still a lot of pain etched on that knee. And just wrenching that knee again across that ring frame. A lot of these athletes tonight doing a great job of using that ring as an offensive weapon. And able to push away.
That was with a bad leg, too.
Well, Sammy no stranger to pain, man. He's mastered ultraviolence. Sammy was the man that really killed the legend of the ECW arena, just absolutely decimating Sabu in the final ever professional wrestling show in the former ECW arena, final ever segment. Ouch! So Sammy has the legacy of ECW as a notch on his belt.
What in the world? Did Chuck Taylor just hug a fan?
Well, either that or he also tries to scare small children. Could have been that. Actually, if I was a small child, a hug from Chuck Taylor would scare me.
Oh my God, I got a grenade!
We've seen this before. I didn't think we'd see it in Super Indy.
Chuck Taylor raising up the fist to represent the fist faction he's a part of and many other organizations. But I don't think Sami Callahan's too impressed. Straight up choke slam. Again, that handsome like power on a smaller frame. We got to cover 2 minutes. Callahan with a German hanging on with it. All momentum Sammy right now. Hits it 3 times. He's still rolling.
Is he ever going to stop?
This is 4. What's going through Chuck Taylor's mind right now?
I see 5.
You can see Sammy expiring. That takes so much energy to deadlift the guy 5 times. Chuck's 220 pounds, maybe that's 1,100 pounds total. And Sami Callahan trying to get feeling back into his arm after the damage he did to himself. But man, contrast that with the damage to Chuck Taylor. Forget about it. Both men just trying to get back to the feet. Keep them up. This is after a very hard-fought matchup for both of these men so far. It's still 1 to go for one of them. What do you think? Bicycle style kick of Callahan connects one more time. And Taylor back with a super kick.
I don't know how Sammy's still standing after that one.
Well, he's pushing more. Release Uranagi suplex. Follow through round kick. Taylor finds his way to the finals now.
Come on, Chuck!
Doing high risk, but Callahan, much as he did earlier with Rickey, Shane Page, just cuts off that balance at the source. And Callahan could be setting up. That stretch muffler targets that knee. Callahan looks right for the knee. Got it a second time. Can Chuck Taylor tap out? He's close to the ropes.
He's got to get a hand on the ropes.
That's
it. Oh, no.
Here is your winner as a result of the submission and moving on to the finals, Sammy Callahan.
5 submissions out of 6 in this tournament. And now Justin Plummer, to just remark that stretch muffler focuses on the knee. Keep in mind the weak point on Michael Facade.
Well, let's not ignore the fact that Sami Callahan himself is beat up. I mean, Chuck Taylor's working on his knee. You can't expect the final match to go more than a few minutes. Both these men have just been obliterated so far.
The man that is the most tournament tested in this field, and the man that pinned Facade in Super Indy Tournament number 8, revisits an old friend in the final round.
I'm Justin Plummer here with Big League John McChesney. In just a few moments, John, you got your chance at the heavy metal Jesus Logan Shulo in a match for the IWC World Heavyweight title.
A match for the IWC World Heavyweight title. I'm going to give my belt back, Plummer. You're wearing the beautiful silver to match the Super Indy title. Well, I'm wearing gold because I'm getting my gold back, baby. Yeah! I've got plans up my sleeve. I got Marshall Gambino in my corner, and there's nobody that can stop me. Not even League's taking home the gold.
Following the tag team contest, it's the number 1 ball, and it's for the IWC Tag Team Championship. Introducing first challengers, they weigh in at a combined weight of 460 pounds. First one out of the United States of America, here's Segaris and Bronco McBride, the blue collar Slaughterhouse.
Man, what a magical moment it was. A month ago in West Virginia, when we thought that Segaris and Bronco McBride, Blue Collar Slaughterhouse, had just captured the IWC Tag Team Championship, but on a technicality, on some referee shenanigans on the part of the champions, they were able to frame the one-nighters, and the championship reign was erased from the record.
That's why they're getting the rematch right here tonight.
And their opponents, they weigh in at a combined weight of 385 pounds, wrestling out of your mama's bedroom. They are the reigning and defending IWC Tag Team Champions, the booty call bandit Nicki Valentino and Beverly, the one-nighters.
So ever since becoming the IWC Tag Team Champions, the one-nighters have not looked back.
That was this past December when they survived a 4-team, 1-fall matchup to get the job done, and really, they have not wavered since. Although the team that has come closest to taking that crown undoubtedly has been Blue Collar Slaughterhouse.
Nicki Valentino looking in great shape.
Best shape I've seen him, probably ever. That shows what the Tag Team Championship represents. The Skull Bandit, Late Night Nicki Valentino, and partner Robin Everett. I don't know about some of these. I don't know about these guys in general. Thank you. Well, Bobby Beverly wears that sleeve. Why do you need a sleeve? You don't wear a shirt. I don't get it. Explain it to me.
You gotta have something. At least nobody's kissed each other yet.
Where we get? Okay. So that. This matchup could turn into as ugly as kissing your sister, to use a cliche, before we're done here, because Slaughterhouse are out for revenge, and they're not out for a pretty technical contest, I don't believe.
Well, when referee Troy Davis was holding up those tag team titles, they're the one-nighters, the only team to actually hold that version of the IWC tag team belts.
Updated championship belts, yes. Great lineage all throughout the years, sexual harassment, devil's advocates, hacksaw Jim Dutton before the IWC tag team belts. Blue Collar Slaughterhouse start things out very quickly on Valentino and Beverly finding conquer here early on. Mentioned earlier that Facade and Gargano captured tag belts and Super Indy's gone by. What about the dynasty of the Gambino family?
Joe, when these two teams last met in Mountain State Madness 2, the match you referred to earlier, where we thought Blue Collar Slaughterhouse had won the titles, we'd both agreed that it was the match that the Blue Collar Slaughterhouse had looked best in yet. I mean, these guys are getting better each and every time we see them, and they're starting off where they left off.
Well, absolutely are. Segaris tags in Bronco, and Bronco gets a big head of steam. Gets a 2 count and change off of that. Slaughterhouse are still in the infancy of their careers. They've only been teaming really about a year now. Their first ever tag team victory in IWC was a defeat over Beverly and Valentino at Mountain State Madness 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And really, Bronco and Segaris haven't looked at match 1, and they haven't captured gold. They get better and better every time. Now, really, that's the thing that you can't really learn in a training facility. You have to learn on the road and in the ring how to become more seasoned and polished, and they're picking it up really well. Beverly, the more experienced, drives his foot in the face of McBride on the outside. Picking his spot was Bobby Beverly.
Show some respect.
Valentino wants some respect. I'd say the means in which much he retained the championships last month kind of threw respect out the window.
Oh, most certainly. These guys are lucky to be walking out here with the belts today. We may just be minutes away from that all coming to an end.
Yeah, they were walking in with the belts, walking out, maybe another story. Valentino has the biggest mouth of anybody I may have ever met in my life. Maybe literally and figuratively.
He does like to talk.
Hanging to Beverly in his sleeve and his goofy tattoos. Can you tell I don't like Bobby Beverly that much?
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah. Or either that or you don't like sleeves.
Very capable athlete, though. There's a disrespect this guy displays. Always walks around with that cocky swag and thinks he's better than everybody. Kind of a goof.
It's that confidence that allows these guys to be as successful as they are. You got to believe in yourself, and while they might believe in themselves a little bit too much.
Not that Valentino's not a goof. I don't want him to feel left out. And Bronco. As we have our first of two non-tournament championship bouts. Beverly drops the back of the head and follows through. The elevated, extended, kind of well, Beverly, smart tag wrestling, right back on his man. Allowing Andy leeway for a tag to be made. Anderson style here is the one night who's cut the ring off at its hypotenuse and attempt to wear away Bronco and McBride. Anybody's ever going to confuse Beverly and Valentino with Ole and Gene Anderson.
I think that's a safe bet. But look at the teamwork here.
Southpaw into the Valentino drop kick. Valentino feeling pretty good about himself. Locking Segaris before going into the cover.
3, 2, 3, 4.
Objecting about the count, but that's not going to eat very far. You can only manipulate so many referees so much. Well, they certainly did it last month, but I gotta believe this official, knowing of what happened last time, is a lot more alert.
Well, One-Niner's doing an excellent job of not allowing Bronco McBride to make a tag. He's been in there for the majority of the match now.
What was it, a month ago? They all tried and true Tennessee chain of Nicki Valentino that got into blue-collar Slaughterhouse hands, and Valentino protested and conveniently forgot the fact that he's the one that had started the chain of the match. Nice Samoan drop. Straight to the Ozarks.
McBride's got to use this opportunity to get over to Segaris and make the tag.
Well, tag made to Beverly before Bronco could get to his corner. Bronco pushed it away and got it the second time. And the big man, Segaris. He's not built for show, he's built to deliver. He's all over the one-nighter. He's built to hurt. Here, 5
minutes gone by in this contest. 5 minutes.
And Collar would love to achieve. Oh, it's such a big stage. That Blue Thunder bomb by Blue Collar. It's a Blue Collar bomb now. Double team. 2. Segaris lands head first into the corner. Beverly just exploding here.
Segaris a little woozy here.
Nobody home. Gotta get credit to Segaris. He's back on his feet right now. Oh, it got caught coming through.
A big guy was about to fly.
Right to the arm and shoulder of Segaris. Now Beverly trying to direct traffic with Valentino. Comic head of steam. Oh! And the end result wasn't much better.
Let's go. Get him in the ring. Come on. 1, 2.
One-nighters taking each other out, and the ref's begun the count.
6.
Well, count out won't get the championships. One-nighters have to be cognizant of that.
No.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, well, we've seen Bronco fly before. It's Super Indy. It's all on the line.
You gotta be kidding me! The big man pulling out all of the stops here at Super Indy 11.
And it's all about the tag team titles.
Can't believe the big man could fly like that. I'm impressed.
Well, it paid off short term, but can it translate into championship gold? Valentino has no clue where he is right now. Beverly pushes Segaris face first into the post on the outside. Segaris has been neutralized. He's hurt. In the ring, Bronco and Valentino back and forth. Look out here. It's a Gory, German. Beverly on top of the cover. Wait a second. Who's the legal man?
IWC Tag Team Champions.
Hey Joe, you're right.
There you see it right there. Bronco had his foot on the rope. That was on the rope before the count of three. I saw it.
So these guys did not catch a break.
I think the only guy that missed it is the guy in the stripes. That's the second time in this many months that, well, maybe the one-nighters, maybe they shouldn't have won here, but they darn sure shouldn't have lost. One-nighters get lucky again and barely sneak out with the tag team titles. Up next, IWC title at stake, Shulo and Big League, one-on-one.
That was your fault too.
Following singles contest is scheduled for one fall. It's for the IWC Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger. He weighs in at 195 pounds. From out of Erie, Pennsylvania, here is Big League, McChesney.
What an absolute pain this man has been to deal with in the past couple of months. The Alliance, Jimmy DeMarco, and his all losing his Super Indy spot in the tournament to Aiden Vale and just complaining and politicking his way into an IWC title matchup, screwing Logan Shulo out of his Super Indy chance in the process. McChesney has been more unbearable than perhaps ever.
McChesney and his opponent Logan Shulo both originally in this tournament here tonight. But now they find themselves out. They'll be battling for the IWC World Heavyweight title.
Well, McChesney was beaten fair and square to take him out of it. Shulo was taken out of it by management because John McChesney wanted this championship match. What scares me the most is that 300 pounds of heavy on the outside, translated over from that DeMarco Alliance, DeMarco's cousin, Marshall Cole.
He weighs in at 221 pounds. Wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is the reigning IWC Heavyweight Champion. The Bronco, the elite athlete, the hungry Mo Jesus, Logan Shulo.
Here's the man who beat Jimmy DeMarco for the IWC World Heavyweight title, Logan Shulo. Getting the opportunity to shine here tonight in Super Indy. The MLGs, certainly rose in a meteoric type fashion. No one really thought he would be the one to aid Jimmy DeMarco's championship reign so quickly. I remember never seeing someone have their way with Jimmy DeMarco in a standard one-fall match like Logan Shulo did. He came in focused, determined, and it was history from there. Logan Shulo in a major career stride.
You tell me I have a big belly one more time, I'm going to take my new belt to your house, do your wife and your daughter at the same time.
McChesney, most unique hairstyle.
Sporting the new dude for Super Indy. A lot of guys having new gear tonight. They changed, switching up the hair.
There's the prize. IWC Championship displayed. I'm going to go by the official. Matchup is underway. McChesney has already cost Logan Shulo so many opportunities. And as we mentioned, enough of politics has gotten himself to this point. What did McChesney do to deserve a championship matchup? You tell me, Plummer.
Well, he has friends in high places, I guess. He had the Red Alliance, he complained enough, he whined enough, and I think Chuck just to keep him quiet.
I don't think it's friends. I think McChesney pulled Chuck and Logan Shulo's punk card, called them onto the carpet, and basically challenged their manhood and their braveness as far as signing this match.
And Logan Shulo still wanted to be a part of the Super Indy tournament as well, but with the threats from John McChesney to ensure that Logan would win every one of his matches so that he would be worn out and tired by the time the title match rolled around, Chuck unfortunately had no other choice than to pull him out of the tournament.
Yeah, that just completely destroyed the integrity that Super Indy would have if John McChesney would have done that. In terms of the tournament, I'm happy Chuck made that decision. But again, I feel bad for Logan Shulo because he's paying for the sins of somebody else.
I actually caught up with him backstage before the show, and he is not happy about it. He still thinks he would be able to pull double duty, but he's just got to understand that Chuck's got to protect the Super Indy.
Logan's got to understand that double duty can turn into quadruple duty over the course of this night. That's youthful exuberance. Hey, that's great. You're confident in yourself. You think you can go all the way. But, man, you got to think smart, and Chuck Roberts was. Maybe Logan could win 4 matches in one night. I can't say he can't. But I just don't know. I can't picture it. And I know John McChesney as IWC champion is something Chuck Roberts does not want to have to deal with.
Marshall the Bull Gambino inserting himself into this match now.
Yeah, no surprise there. And keep in mind, when McChesney made that challenge to Logan Shulo to get this matchup signed, McChesney was already out of the Super Indy. He had nothing to lose. Takedown by Shulo's elbow. Jesus. I have a and Big League is in trouble. Marshall Bull with some look out. Shulo on top of Marshall. But McChesney a step away.
You can see Logan Shulo fly there. Wait a minute.
All the body went to the outside. You can see already Marshall Bull paying dividends. Almost like a human shield for Big League.
I guess he served his purpose there. Both men diving to the outside. Suicide dives, having no regard for their body. But right now it's paying off for Big League John McChesney.
McChesney, the second longest reigning IWC champion in history. And the official distract on the outside, Marshall. McChesney has the official, and Gambino sent Shulo into the post. Come on. I understand the alliance. I understand that Marshall's still with a relationship with McChesney, even with DeMarco out of the equation. But come on now. Northern Lights. Cover? No. Big League wins this championship. How does the dynamic of the future change?
Big League no stranger to the IWC World Heavyweight Championship, holding the title for almost a year.
And Marshall, but again, a blatant choke. And the official, none the wiser, this official has been completely in over his head this entire contest.
And what happened with Marshall? I mean, he was so good for so long, and just out of nowhere, just turning, joining the dark side, aligning with John McChesney.
Nothing to do with the dark side. What it boils down to is Marshall's a businessman. His business is hurting people. At the right price, he got Marshall's business. McChesney staple drop kick. Marshall's never claimed to be a good guy. Never claimed to be on the up and up. He does what to do, what he has to do.
And apparently the price was right for him to align with a man that he feuded with for so long when McChesney was part of the founding fathers. Shows you what type of person Marshall Gambino really is.
Amazing vertical leap by Shulo. Superplex release style. Beautiful execution.
5 minutes gone by this time.
Logan
5
Shulo,
minutes.
it's become one of his signatures, his vertical leap. I mean, the man's got incredible athleticism. Can easily dunk a basketball. Can easily jump to the top rope and suplex his opponent to the ground.
But can he easily retain the IWC Championship? That is another story. McChesney, one of the most decorated athletes in the history of this organization. Firing away. McChesney felt that all too much at Super Indy 4 back in the day. Shulo has McChesney. Backbreak, you can see McChesney's body bend. Got it? No. Half a count away from retaining that title. Once again, McChesney knows how much hard work and politics went into getting this matchup. And we know that the next contender is Flexor.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that you say that, but it's true. It's going to be Saturday, July 28th, Proving Ground, a show that's really set up, an event that's set up to highlight the young up-and-comers here in the IWC, but there will be a world title match. It's going to be in White Oak, PA, heading back to our old stomping grounds.
Speaking of stomping grounds, Shulo using McChesney's anatomy. We got a cover. And McChesney barely into the ropes. White Oak stomping grounds of Super Indy 2 and Super Indy 8.
I don't know if Chest Flexor's conscious yet or not, but if he is, you can be sure he's keeping his eye on this one.
Shulo elevating McChesney.
You know what's about to come. That was going to be the electric chair.
Well, that's a McChesney staple, that electric chair driver. Both men countering one another. McChesney with a TKO. And the super kick to the side of the jaw. New champion Rowe. Half a count away or less.
We've seen so many men fall to defeat from the TKO super kick combo. Logan Shulo somehow kicking out, holding on to the title for at least a few more minutes.
At least is the key word here. McChesney will continue to press the advantage. And McChesney, oh no! McChesney crushed. Great maneuver by Shulo. Sensed what was coming. Logan firing away up top.
We've seen this one.
I'm having Super Indy 4 flashbacks again for McChesney. With more body weight and impact than Loki does, Shulo giving McChesney a first-class tour through Super Indy's past.
There we go. It's the electric chair.
Into that powerbomb. Shulo's got it. No. Marshall Gambino just grabbed the official. Shulo had this one. And now Marshall Gambino. Yes, some officials out here.
Marshall Gambino saving the day for Big League.
And these officials saving the day for Shulo. I think, well, they know Marshall all too well. Let's not go to the back. Let's get out of the whole building.
He's out of here. He's ejected from Court Time Sports Center.
Far from the first time we've seen this.
Wait a minute, Joe. What is this?
After the distraction of cherry bomb.
What's this all about? What? I mean, what? Why?
You tell me. Where's this coming from?
Clever Parks may be frustrated from his early exit from the Super Indy tournament. Maybe there's more to it.
That's got nothing to do with Logan Shulo.
10 minutes gone by in this contest. 10 minutes.
I don't understand this.
Joe, I think the match is still going on here.
Well, it absolutely is. There's been no bell. The official was down thanks to Marshall.
Job done. I hope you get kicked in the face again, Sherry.
What's going on? Pepper Parks. Count out here?
I mean, Shulo's got to get up.
Oh no. What the hell?
Here is your winner as a result of a countout, Big League John McChesney.
I don't understand. Well, hold on now. And Marshall's back. And he's assaulting Shulo. What the hell's going on?
Marshall, you're stuck. Hammer's the helmet.
Oh no, it's 4-on-1 now. Is the heavy metal Jesus meeting his own personal crucifixion here?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
It's not your title, McChesney.
The title doesn't change hands by count out.
Knock some sense into you again.
Oh no!
What is wrong with you?
Damn.
Terrible. That is terrible.
McChesney.
However, ladies and gentlemen, titles cannot change hands on a countout or disqualification. Still, IWC Heavyweight Champion, Logan Shulo.
Logan Shulo's still champion, but he's worse for the wear after this assault, the 4-on-1 assault.
You are not. It took 4 men to beat Logan Shulo, and even then they couldn't take his title.
McChesney, you and I both know that you're not the IWC Heavyweight Champion. You and I both know that. Marshall, you want the quickest way to jail. Put your hand on me, because I swear I will press charges against you. I swear. Oh yeah. You and I both know you're not the heavyweight champ, so I want that belt back. And here's the thing. On July 28th at Proving Ground, I don't want to see you there. I don't want to see you there. Do you understand that? Yeah, I don't want to see you there. I don't care. And Marshall, you want to put your hands on officials? Guess what? July 28th, White Oak, Proving Ground, you're suspended. You come in the building, I'm going to have you arrested.
Oh, look out.
I'm going to have you arrested. Go ahead, Marshall. So why don't you get to the back, and you two, get to the back now. Pedro, get this underway.
Yeah, Pedro, you take care of it, Pedro.
Do not want to mess with Marshall Gambino.
Somebody's got to get these guys under control.
Once again, your winner as a result of a countout, Big League John McChesney. However, still IWC Heavyweight Champion, Logan Shulo.
McChesney stolen the title. We got to get that back. We got to get help for Logan. We got matches made for Proving Ground. We got people banned for Proving Ground, and the Super Indy Finals still next. Callahan Death Machine, Ricky Shane's Page, and Chuck Taylor both fell victim to that stretch muscular submission hold, which really forced that knee right over the old neck of Callahan. If he uses that maneuver here tonight in this final, it could be a foregone conclusion. We've seen the damage done to the opposition. Callahan may be tailor-made for the championship. And Callahan has beaten Facade in a Super Indy tournament in the past. Injury, in spite of the personal issues with Gory, in spite of not knowing his first round opponent, the Pepper Parks, Facade has survived it all. He out-wrestled Pepper Parks, he outsmarted Gory, can he outlast Sami Callahan?
Michael Facade trying to make Super Indy history by becoming the first champion to make it the whole way through and win the tournament.
But he's facing the most tested and accomplished tournament wrestler you may have in this entire industry now. I dare you to name me a name that's won more tournaments than Sami Callahan.
I can't do it.
That's been a finalist in more tournaments than Sami Callahan.
Can't do it.
Not coincidence. Facade's toughest test is now. Is this Sami Callahan's toughest test? To me, that depends on the condition of Facade's knee.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Court Time Sports Complex in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, it is time for your IWC main event of the evening. It is the finals of Super Indy 11. Your referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Mr. Troy Davis. Introducing first in the corner to my right, he weighs in at 205 pounds, wrestling out of the last house on the left. He has made his way to the finals by wins over Ricky Shane Page and Chuck Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, wearing brown with black and silver trim, the Callahan Death Machine, Sammy Callahan! And his opponent in the corner to my left. He weighs in at 185 pounds, and he is a roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping. He made his way to the finals by way of wins over Pepper Parks and Gory. He is your reigning and defending Super Indy champion, ladies and gentlemen, the Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, Michael Facade!
And this is it, Joe. This is what it's all about. The Super Indy title on the line. One of these men's about to make history.
Well, you know where Sami Callahan thinks it's going to end up. A rich 10-year plus history dating back to March 22nd, 2002 in the Monroeville Sports Complex. Callahan says he will beat Facade to death, and he's off to a good start.
Not wasting any time.
And you touched on it earlier, Plummer, the fatigue. You got to end this quickly. How much is left in either of these men's tanks?
I mean, at this point, this match could end at any moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see it end in 2 or 3 minutes. These men have been just beaten down for the last 3 hours.
Facade protecting the knee earlier, is attempting to, but Callahan, you know he has scouted this matchup. You know he's watched these earlier matches. And you know, like a vulture, he will pounce on a weak point if he smells blood. And now a variation of an Indian deathlock by Callahan on Facade with extra torque on the ankle. That knee and ankle of Facade were both damaged by Gory with that chair.
Callahan showing his tournament experience by scouting the prior competition, knowing where to go, knowing where to target. He knows Facade is worse for wear, that knee not holding up very well.
I noticed we're a minute in and look where both these men are. Facade is right back to where he was against Gory. Callahan's standing tall. Callahan has neutralized any bit of staying power and stamina Facade's been working up in that leg. Instantaneously, he's cut Facade right back down to size. Jeez. And nowhere for Facade to go, hung up in that ring rope.
You crazy now! You crazy! Get him off the rope!
I think his chest cavities will collapse. Sami Callahan is vicious.
And Sammy, just like earlier with Gory, he's looking for a count-out win. He knows how tough it is to keep Facade down for 3 seconds in the ring, so hey, shoot for 10 on the outside. Why not?
Doesn't matter how you win it, as long as you come out on top.
A very dubious and controversial way to win the Super Indy title, but hey, you gotta believe it would count. And again, this is the tournament tested experience of Callahan. These men came into this matchup relatively even, but man, doesn't look that way anymore, not by a long shot. And knee first, right down onto the ring.
What's going on out here? These guys wrestling?
Oh wow, look who it is.
We have the party peak
Dalton Castle here. You are welcome. Sami Callahan, he's tough. I've wrestled him
right here in IWC, absolutely.
Justin Plummer, I'll take over from here.
All right, well,
like an aftershock to film or something.
Dalton, we get your assessment on this final matchup here between Callahan, Death Machine, Sami Callahan, and Michael the Bomber Facade. How much experience, if any, do you have with Facade?
With Facade, not much. I just know he dabbles in spray paint and flippadoos. And look, he's sneaky though. Look at that. He's sneaking those punches in there.
He's shown some great resilience. He has a badly injured knee and ankle, courtesy of Gory in the semifinal
round. You gotta think how that neck's holding up with all them dreadlocks on top of his head.
Well, he does extensively do a lot of neck bridges and exercises with his bridges and his suplexes.
It's not smart how he's letting Callahan just kick him like that. He should not let Sammy just stomp him like that. You should really do something about that.
I think that's the goal, but again, his vertical base was cut off right away by Callahan, who is the most tournament-tested athlete in this entire building right now.
The amount of tournaments doesn't mean you have more victories.
No, he's won a lot too, though.
Oh,
he's won a lot, and the ones he hasn't lost, the one he hasn't won, most of them he's been a finalist in.
Well, I'm proud to be backing up your facts there.
Well, there we go. But will Facade back up those facts? Will Facade be another statistic here tonight?
I think Facade's in some danger here. If he doesn't get that leg from around, like, I don't like where this is going. And, I
think he can attest to the tenaciousness of Callahan's in-ring style.
He is like a Tasmanian devil. He's stocky, he's compact, and he spins around a lot.
And he'll spin around the knee joint of Michael Facade too.
Look at that, he's just vicious. He's relentless there, digging into the knee. Nobody deserves this.
And had that knee in his crosshairs and connects to that bicycle-style kick of Callahan. He gets so much momentum behind it.
It's going to be very tough for Facade to occupy Wall Street with a broken knee.
And keep in mind Facade's the main part of his arsenal, the high flying, all bases around being able to balance himself, walking the ropes on that knee. Most of Facade's offense is completely cut out right now.
Yeah, he's an aerial guy. He He's Super Indy. He is the well, he's not current reigning because he had to give it up.
Well, no, he's the defending champion. He could be the first guy to go coast to coast here.
There we go. See, Facade likes to be in the air, but not upside down in somebody else's hands.
And genius. Double A style, word buster.
Sammy just seems to be toying with them.
Sammy loves causing pain.
He is showing a little. He's just being. I'm short with words because I just did 1,000 squat thrusts, but he's being nice and having the ref check on Facade.
So showed a little remorse.
Remorse, that's the word. You look at you. I talk for a living, and here I am.
I tried to, it didn't work out that well. Callahan with a knife edge chop. That impact is stinging up and through the body of Facade.
Now, how do you think he's? Where do you think he got the strength? He's got a strong leg there to fight through that.
That's just perseverance. That's pushing your body beyond its normal limits. That's the heart of a champion. Right back to the knee.
That's the experience. That's the intelligence, and that is the quick thinking of Sami Callihan.
We've seen in Super Indy finals past, we've seen guys pass out due to pain and the tournament end that way. That could be a means of Sami Callihan.
Did you see that? Did you see Sammy kick Facade's face right into the third row?
Yeah, face wash. Those boots.
There is a lucky girl going home with Facade's face tonight.
Who's going home with
Facade? The things you can get at a wrestling show.
Who's going home with Facade's
you
belt?
Can get 3 things. You can get an 8x10, you can get Facade's face, and you can get an STD.
Not going to touch that one in more ways than one. As Callahan has Facade prone in this corner just continuously. Facade.
Death machine saying it's time to die.
Well, Facade was able to sprint to his feet, but
wasn't quick enough. Kicked right back to the corner. Whoa! Matrix move.
Oh, the knee. But Facade balancing on one leg, and you can see the pain etching through Facade just to do that kip up. And a desperation move paid off, albeit momentarily.
Danielson, if Ralph Macchio can think of how to fight one-legged, so can the Ninja Warrior himself, Facade.
He is the Super Indy Samurai, after all.
And a bomber, right? What other nicknames does he have?
The Neon Ninja.
Both guys just grabbing the energy inside. Using that hurt leg, I don't think that's intelligent.
Yeah, tough to extend the leg far enough for those round kicks, and consequently use the good leg. You got to balance with the bad leg.
You got to think of the pain that's going through that knee while he's just standing on it while delivering these kicks.
That's enabling Callahan to battle back. You can tell Facade doesn't have all the oomph he normally does behind those strikes.
Now what's behind oomph?
There
it is.
Velocity, energy, impact. Let's see. Stretch muffler. Callahan won in the quarters.
Look good. This is it. This is the finish right here.
He won in the semis with this move.
He's just got to get him a little cranked a little more. He's been working on that knee the entire match.
You felt this maneuver before as well.
Yeah, but I was smart enough to pin him just like that.
Look out, Facade counters though.
No. You see, that's where Facade needs to spend more time in the gym. Doing some squats, he would have the strength.
Oh, German. Well, the neck's strong enough, but it's again balancing on the knee. You saw Facade had to lift the knee. It was in so much pain, and that ruined the bridge of the German.
I'm a big fan of Facade's moveset right now.
Facade's trying to pour it all out here, but at the same time wrestle smart, but his style's not conducive to his limitations.
Sounds like we got a split crowd out here.
Oh, we do. You can't help but respect Sami Callahan, but Facade, he's IWC through and through.
I think they'll be happy with either guy. Who are you betting on, non-biased announcer?
Who am I betting on? I gotta go with Sami Callahan because that weak point of Facade is the strength of Callahan.
Now you never make it into the Hall of Fame. That's a fancy dancy move there. Flippy doozy kicks to the face. Facade. Oh, not enough. He's got to spend more time in the gym, put the weight in those legs. And think about if those legs weighed about 60 to 70 pounds more each coming down on Callahan's head, he would not kick out.
That's true.
Yeah. Why would I tell a lie?
I didn't say you did.
What could I gain by
lying? That's a good
lying?
assessment. I think Facade trains lean for endurance, and that in a tournament atmosphere, that plays off.
I don't know if he's got it left.
Well, we'll see.
Oh!
Variation, more of a Michinoku driver as opposed to his finishing maneuver, the Arashikage driver.
He's wasting time. He needs to put Sammy away here.
Can the legs support the weight? That's the question.
We got fancy new white ropes here. Hopefully they've got the strength to hold Facade.
Look out, we won't find out! German emitter! Callahan was waiting in the wing.
Creative, fast thinking, and limber, that Sami Callahan at the top going down.
And right back to that knee and ankle. And back to the
Why not?
muffler.
Why wouldn't he? Go right to it.
Will this move be 3 for
Just
3
tap
tonight?
Facade.
Facade may
I don't
have
like
to.
seeing anybody in this much pain.
Live to fight another day. Or really pass out. No, the rope.
It's good mat awareness. Good mat awareness.
And again, that limber body of Facade to stretch that leg out.
10 minutes.
Now you spend each show 3 hours helping Facade stretch out, did you say?
No, it's not true. That's
Oh, where did I hear that?
maybe from some of my other colleagues. I'm
Sami
not sure.
Callahan, he's had enough.
Powerbomb to the back of the head. Got it. No.
Well, I don't know. I counted 3.
Second time. Again.
Kicking out at 2 power bombs. What is this man, a cyborg?
Facade just
I
barely
want him tested when he gets out of there.
inching that left shoulder up.
Facade working solely on bath salts here. I don't know where he's getting the energy.
And both men just trapping one another. Callahan had that stretch muffler in again. It was to our blind side.
He knows nothing but those ropes are safety. That's all he knows there.
He doesn't have the strength to power out at this point.
He doesn't know where he is.
Well, instincts
Look
have
at
to
that
kick
guy.
in. Instincts have to kick in. Next with a side kick.
Finding some energy here. I see him favoring that knee still.
He's not moving as quickly as he'd like to. He's trying to shake some feeling back in, but again, Callahan catches.
Do you think he knows he needs to pin him to get out of this fight?
Absolutely. Or he could be a submission. The dreadlock. Pepper Parks tapped out in round 1. Could Sammy tap away his Super Indy dream? Counter.
Not limber enough.
Rear naked choke. And that body scissors is going to keep Facade from reaching a rope.
This is where Sammy likes to be.
Facade,
In the ring and in the bedroom.
Facade traps the shoulders. That's how he beat Gory in the semis, but right back into that body lock.
He's strong. He spends hours doing pec flies. Just hours doing the fly machine, so he can get a strong grip on that sleeper hold.
Callahan is very deceptively strong, as we touched on before.
Sammy mission, I think they call it.
You would think he was 280 with the amount of power he packs in his frame. And Facade trying to battle free, just trying to keep
He's
the
just
light
irritating him. But he's got
Shoulders
him
down.
frustrated.
Again in the near fall. And Facade peppering Sammy with right hands now.
Is that hands or headbutts?
Desperation setting in for Michael Facade. Bicycle kick again. And Callahan staple all night. Oh! And Callahan using the ropes for leverage and momentum. Nicely done. Into the muffler again. Third or fourth time in this matchup.
See what he's got there? He's working that knee and he's just kicking him in the back of that dreadlock head of his. That's smart. This is a guy who wants to win. He's going to do anything it takes. That's all legal. That's all legal.
Absolutely
all
is.
day.
Facade's
You
gonna get
can't
knocked
grab a
out.
rope. You can't win if you don't have a head. Sammy, get that head off him.
Facade's out. We got a new champion. We got a new champion.
Can you win by death? Did he just kill
Here
him?
is your winner of Super Indy XI,
Oh no.
Sammy Callahan.
Wow. The man who is the most successful in tournaments anywhere in this industry adds another notch to his belt. Dalton. Sammy is Super Indy champion. Facade so close to making history, but Sami Callahan literally turned the lights out.
Well, you know what they say? They say winning that first championship is easy. It's winning the second. That's the hard part. And it looks like the pressure got to Facade here. Sami Callahan hitting the gym. Look at the size of those thighs. Laying them in the back of Facade's head, kicking clean off. Guy didn't have a face earlier.
3 years of chasing Super Indy glory. Sami Callahan wins. And we'll now hear from the very unique mind of the gentleman.
Let's hear what this deserving man has to say. That's not what he meant.
It's on.
a.k.a. Facade, because I'm a real man and I'm going to be a real fighting champion, because this is what this Super Indy title means. I know you drew a pretty shitty straw when your boy Jason Gory attacked you after the bell. So anytime you're 100%, you want another shot, you got my number. I never tapped!
Wow, well, you can hear that exchange. Sammy saying you get another shot whenever you're 100%. Facade saying I never tapped. The defiant Facade just now coming to and realizing what's happened. Facade had it in him, but his body just couldn't withstand the pain any longer. You can't say Facade's not deserving. But tonight, with the circumstances we were dealt,
and then you give him
Sammy was a little bit better.
Congratulations, Sammy. Michael Facade, I know if nothing else, you're pissed right now for a lot of reasons. One of those reasons is Jason Gory. And while I know you're going to have an opportunity at that title, it's my job to give you Gory. So therefore, on Saturday night, August the 25th, right here at the Court Time Sports Center, you and Gory, final battle, one-on-one, 15-foot high steel cage.
Oh, wow. Finally, Facade and Gory on a collision course to settle this thing. What's next for Super Indy champion Sammy Callahan? What's next for Logan Shulo, John McChesney? Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us. Super Indy has gone to hell and back. Sammy Callahan is your champion.